till June 24th. So it's official. Roe versus Wade was overturned. I understand. Like, I understand. So over the last couple days, I've been sitting with this awareness about how I had an interaction with a loved one who was really struggling with the fact that I'm not there. I'm not nearby, especially when this loved one has this big event that's approaching next year, and all the planning and prepping and the fact that I won't be there every step of the way. And so we had a conversation, and we don't connect often just because of our work schedules and the changes. And I happen to work, evenings. And I start late. And, so this person was, apparently it'd been bottling up within her. And then it came out. I triggered her, and then it came out, and so I shut up and let her just, and then it got to the point where she just couldn't, and she said, I need to hang up. I said, okay. So I sat with that, realizing, okay, I'm not triggered. I don't feel triggered. I can see where it's coming from. And that's been sitting with me. And then it just so happened that the day before I had a conversation with my mom. It's funny because it was all around the same time that those other videos were posting or was that last week? I think it was last week. That I'm similar to Mama Nelly and sensitive. And my dad's health he's not doing well. He's not doing well. I mentioned that. And so my mom brought it to my attention. She doesn't know that I already connected with him. And so she's like, maybe you should call him. And I said, yeah, I know. I've been connecting with him. And I don't know. I guess she thought I would have been in more distress. And I think it's because my sister, my loved one, was in more distress. She was in more distress around Father's Day. I guess so much so that there's avoidance because it's just too much. A lot of people do that. So then my mom proceeds to tell me, what did she say? She said something to the effect of like, gosh, just insinuating that I was gonna be upset when that time came. And I clarified, I said, no, I won't. Oh, I think there was just this assumption that I was going to struggle with the loss. And I said, no, I'm not. I can tell you that right now, like I'm not. And then she proceeded to say something. What did she say? She said something alluding to the fact that if I was going to struggle with her loss, if it came around. And I said, no, I wouldn't. And it sucks. I know I shouldn't laugh. And I could tell that she was emotional about it, just saying it out loud. And I said, why would I be upset? I said to her, I said, when I already know where you're going, I already know where my dad's going. My dad has prepared me to say goodbye to him. He didn't realize that that's what he was doing, but my whole life, he's prepared me to say goodbye. I've said goodbye before, so it's just this almost like, not complicated grief, but that there's this like anticipated, like, I know it's coming, I know it's coming, I'm prepared for it. I mean, I don't feel emotionally evoked like I once did. And it's just this understanding of, I know what's going to happen, and I'm viewing loss in a different way, so it doesn't impact me to the same degree. So I think my mom was like a little like, and then she, was like, no, well, you're right. Why would we be upset? But I know why she would be upset, right? I know why people are upset when it happens. And it's just, again, this perception. I had the same conversation with someone today about loss. How, especially within the Christian faith, I can't speak for all the other ones, but in regards to Christianity, there's this almost like, this is it, right? Except for the Mormon faith, I think that theirs is a little different. But there's this finale, this finished line type of thing. Excuse me. And I don't believe that anymore. I believe there's cycles that continue, I shared in the abortion video that came out, overcoming negative views on abortion, because I'm, pro-choice all the way. I've always been pro-choice. And, it's just, the outcome today was something that I expected. I think a lot of us expected it. And I'm not worried about where it's going to lead to, because I know that however it unfolds will need to unfold in that manner, right? Because I'm seeing the patterns in the stories of my clients, in my experience, in how society is like nudging itself from one extreme to the other. And it's just this constant one extreme, right? So it feels like we're going backwards, but we're not. It's just this nudging. But because change takes a long time, it feels like nothing is moving. So I started thinking about that, about loss, about these other dreams that I had, where there's going to be the one dream where, my loved one is crying, and I see the other people also in distress, and this awareness that I know that I'm like, I'm not falling apart like everybody else is. Like everyone else is actually upset that I'm not falling apart. And that's was the other thing, was just because I wasn't where they're at, I triggered them more, because then it makes it seem like I'm insensitive. When it's more of just this knowing, like I just know, like, so it doesn't make sense for me to get emotionally worked up when I know. So it reminded me of that dream. These past few days, just reflecting on the other dreams I've had. The one that I was thinking about just now was the one where there's chaos and destruction going on outside. And I'm in this hospital room with the nurse and this mother-to-be who just had a miscarriage. And I could feel her desire to want to have a baby. But she's getting judgment from other people around her saying, there's chaos outside. Why would you want to be a mother during a time of destruction and chaos? And the feeling that I got was, no, like this is the time for those who seek that. It's okay to have that desire for expansion, right? Not that it takes away anything from those who are pro-choice. No, it's to each their own, right? To each their own alignment, however that unfolds. So I was thinking about that dream too today. And then I was thinking about my cousin. And I checked in with them today and just, hey, just wanted to check in. I haven't been able to download the family messages because we're in a family chat. Because I don't have great reception. it doesn't automatically do it. So they all come in at different times, and I have to literally go in with each single message and download. And I'm just like, oh no, there's so much happens. I'm just like, I'm not even trying. I'm just gonna get the Clip Note version. So I reached out to them and I was just like, hey, just want to check in. How you doing? Checked in with some of my clients who are really struggling with it. And just again, this awareness of like how I trigger people by not being with them. So it reminded me of at my old job, you know, the when I would sit with a group of colleagues, they would get upset at me. They would get upset because I wouldn't get upset with them when they would complain about you know, whatever politics was going on in the agency, whatever extra work we were given. I would not engage to the same degree that they would. I just wouldn't. And it's because I understood. That's the thing. But they would be triggered by the fact that I was not upset with them. And it just so that I was reminded of that today, of how I know that the more that this unfolds, and this by meaning society, it's not going to impact me to the same degree that it's impacting everybody else. And I'm realizing that now. More so, I think, because of how everyone else is responding around me. And by default, my response to them, it's not to the same degree anymore. It doesn't mean I don't care. It just means I understand. And I hope that people will see that, you know? Because for some, it's going to rub them the wrong way. I know that. Alright, I see that. It's like the course that I'm putting together. I made changes to it because that part of me was just like, why am I putting this part here? Like, I don't need to. The course will attract those who want to listen, right? I don't have to already prepare a front. It's like, no. The intention will be that it's there, available for those who choose to listen, right? I'm not going to stress myself out over that. I don't know. Just a lot to think about. But I just wanted to document that had been a repeated awareness. Maybe upstairs. It was a repeated awareness of just my response to what's happening. And seeing other people's responses with loss and with news like this, right? What happens when we give our power? What happens when we give our power to forces outside of us, to people outside of us? Right? So, no, it's food for thought, I guess. Hi. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.